Alright, so this is smoke hits, quick hits, dry hits, and flash executes. This is the second last video in the series. The final one will be about putting all these concepts together, and then I'll move on to specific strats, certain map things, and team playbooks. Alright, so getting into this, I'll start with smoke strats. Setting up your smoke strat, you first want to find the smokes you want to throw, specifically where they land. You want to figure out how to throw them later, and I'll just tell you that there's no magical way to find them out. It's just trial and error. Second, find the spots that remain that are dangerous given your strat, especially if these are spots where they can delay for their rotates. One of the biggest problems with smoke strats is that they're going to be rotating into you, as your smoke strats often take a while to execute. If you leave open any spots that can delay you anymore, you're putting yourself in a spot where they can have their whole team rotated and your smokes dissipate before you plant. Good examples of these spots are New Box and Oranges at A, as well as Balcony and Pit at B. While not impossible to deal with without Molotovs, they can cause serious problems if they play it right. Third, disguise the strat. Set up in the beginning so your strat looks as close to your default as possible. This is one of the benefits of having a default. Also, consider trying to draw out flashes and nades at this point. Try to limit smokes and Molotovs necessary to 3 people. Everyone on your team should have a Molotov and a smoke, but you don't want to rely on having all 5 alive when you execute your strat. This means usually I have everyone on my team know a bunch of smokes and Molotovs so I can get anyone to throw any one of them. I also have some extras that aren't necessary but that I like and that I can throw if we have all 5 alive. Fourth, consider whether you want to have a dedicated lurker or not. Usually on a smoke strat the answer is yes, but decide how far out you want him to be. If he's on the other side of the map he can flank really well, but he won't be able to support you. If you have him throwing a bit of a fake, you have to remember that you're limiting his usefulness as a flanker. For smoke strats, you also might want to consider if there's any places you can plant while in a smoke, without even killing the players holding the bomb site. You can actually do this at B if you smoke by Oranges and Barbecue, but it's a pretty risky play. However, it can pay off, especially on ecos. Now on to dry hits. A dry hit is great for teams that play extremely passive angles, play spots where they wait for noise to do anything, or play spots with their nades or flashes out waiting to counter nade. This is the sort of thing where you can actually walk right up middle if they're playing a turtle setup and have your opper get an entry before anything else happens. You can also do this at moto to cut off rotates so you can easily take either site, or you can do this at truck or banana if they play very passive angles. A quick hit is usually either a standard rush or you can utilize a good spawn from one of your players to do a very aggressive peek at a time when they might not expect it. If their opera is known to peek mid, you can counter this by having your opera peek out at the top of T-stairs to surprise him. This has more specific uses on other maps, like peeking long on Dust 2 or peeking mid on Cache. I've put in a clip here of exactly the push I'm talking about on Cache. It's just a solo push with an op, but it's extremely good for opening up the rounds and getting picks, especially on people that cross mid directly to the box or push up vents early. A flash execute is something some teams do a lot and others don't do very much at all. It's very basic and it utilizes 1, possibly 2 flashes going off at the same time to blind opponents and have your team instantly peek out to get the frags. Just like dry hits, this can allow you to get entries and take sites with opponents on extremely long rotates. Thanks for watching, and I'm also looking to do a bit on viewer demos and teams that with you strat calling. So if you have any videos of your team playing and you want a critique of the strats you're using or the way you call, feel free to send me an email. I'll leave my email in the description with a link to your game.